For our streamers tuning in, don't forget after this game, which will have 45 minutes of gameplay, we'll have junior scrimmage. Junior roller derby to return into Cape Girardeau. Got Jax jamming in black and finding the inside lane after getting checked out, recycling behind, coming away lead. Coaster Strudel in white. Jax picking up 4 points for the black team for the early lead. And white losing a blocker. Static Shock in wide on the jam line. Slaytoven in black. Slaytoven cuts the outside, checked out, and Static Shock cuts the inside, coming away lead. Static Shock going for the check on Slaytoven and able to avoid it, forcing the call off 0-0 of both teams. Jax back on the jam line in black. Yoshi on his hind side in white. Black blockers lined up on the jam line, wide up front, missing one of their blockers. Yoshi trying to trap Jax on the outside and runs to the inside, cutting back to the out, coming away lead. Jammers hit the pack, and Jax able to pick up one and deny Yoshi that jam. Coaster Strudel jamming in white, Slaytoven in black. Slaytoven toe stop hops through the inside, coming away lead jammer. Slaytoven hits the pack, starts calling it off. 1 point for black. Black nearly leads 6-0. 41 and a half to go. TPQ with the star in black. Static Shock with the star in white. No one in the box. TPQ on the inside, step the outside. Static on the outside, step the inside. Back the outside. Jax looking to get a check on him, but Static Shock off to the races, coming away lead. TPQ holding the star, looking to get that initial pass still or hand off the stars. Static Shock picking up 4. TPQ passing the star off to Jax now, pivoting, now jamming for the black team. Static Shock beam dips down on the outside, picking up 4 and 4 calling off, denying black this pass. And with those two scoring passes, white now takes the lead, 8-6. Diana Slamma with the star in black, Yoshi in white. White lined up at the back of the pack. Yoshi goes side to side, works ahead. And Yoshi coming away lead. Black losing a blocker. Slit throat, I believe, getting caught on the directional. Yoshi through the pack, 4 points for White. Yoshi hitting the pack, big enough for him, calling it off. Coaster Strudel and White. Chucky in black. And Coaster Strudel out first, lead. All right, jam called out, 0 points either team. Everybody's okay, up skating away. Yoshi and White jamming. And Yoshi out first, lead jammer. Trekkie jamming for the black team. Yoshi through on the outside. 4 points. Yoshi back in the pack again, 4 more points. Turkey Monster still working that initial pass. And with Yoshi out again, 4 more points for White team. Black's gonna go. So work trying to help them get their jammer through on the initial pass still. Georgia with a check on Yoshi as he skates through the inside of turn 4, but shrugging it off, picking up 4. I believe Ricky Bobby headed the box for a stop block, White blocker. Pivot for White and Yoshi picking up 4 more. Slaytoven taking the star. Gets checked out, 5 seconds to go. Rather than chasing Yoshi down, getting run back, just gonna burn the clock. Yoshi with a couple big checks at the end there. Slaytoven able to stay in. White team running up the scoreboard, 36 to Black 6 right now. Static Shock in White, Jax in Black. Black at the jam line in the back. Static Shock clearing Diana Slam out of his way to get the lead. Takes a look back, seeing Jax on his heels, going for the checkout. Both jammers went out, but Static Shock up and running off to the races, try to get a point. tries to go for a jump, decides to call it off as he skates to the outside. 1 point signal for Black. 1 point for White, 0 for Black. Coaster Strudel back on the jam line in White. Deathlapod in Black. Deathlapod heads up the middle. Coaster working to the outside, back into the inside, coming away lead out of turn 1. Deathlapod taking that check and giving it back at the front of turn 2. Coaster Strudel in the pack, picking up points. Checked out, run back behind turn 2, gonna call it off. Denying the Black team points, and looks like 3 points signaled for Coaster Strudel. Jack's back in Black on the jam line, holding the star. And Exene in White. Jammers rolling back with the pack sitting on the jam line. Exene out first, coming away lead. Two-point signal for White as jam's called. Static Shock in White on the jam line. Slaytoven in Black. Black lined up in the back on the jam line. Jam underway. And Static Shock finds an outside lane off to the races. Slaytoven checked down the inside, brought back to the jam line. Slaytoven's going to cut to the outside of turn 1, checked out again, and running her back. Static Shock picking up 4 and calling it off. Chucky in Black jamming. Coaster Strudel in White. Coaster checked out by Jax, brought back to the jam line. Coaster Strudel getting called, or excuse me, Jax called on a low block. Diana Slamma jamming for the Black team now. 4 points signaled.
Hey, Jimmy. No. Can you check that for me? I think it needs rebooted or whatever. Probably overheated then.
All right, guys, see the cameras down, working on it. Okay, hopefully the camera's back up now. We tick down to the 29-minute mark. 51 white, 13 black. Exene in white of the jam line. TPQ in black. No one in the box. Smaxalado bridging to keep her teammates in play. Exene working against the four wall in the back at turn one. TPQ working against the four wall up front of white. And TPQ thought he found an inside line. And gets caught on a track cut. Exene out of the pack, gonna be lead jammer. Pack rolls up to turn three. And Schlither head of the box for a back block. So white would be down 2 blockers now. 3v2 in the pack, I believe. And black losing a blocker to forearms now. TPQ hits the pack, puts the star back on, 0 point signaled, and 3 point signaled for white. Jack's out first in black, lead jammer, rolling thunder in white. White trying to get up front, not be a point, looking for a check on Jax. Gets out of the pack, picks up 3 and calls it off. Or excuse me, Jack's able to pick up 4, calling it off, and White able to pick up 3. Rolling thunder, rolling up in the pack fast. 4-3, that jam, advantage black. Static Shock in white. Chucky in black. Black tripod in the back with the dangler up front. Static cuts the outside back into the middle and comes away lead by the pivot line. Chucky finds an outside lane, and now the pack sets up for Static, going for a jump, and calls it off, picking up those 4 points. Slaytoven back on the jam line for the black team, and Coaster Strudel for the white team. Black lined up in the back. Slaytoven checked out hard in the outside lane. Beastie mixing up with Slaytoven. Meanwhile, Coaster Strudel picking up a lead. Jammer coming out of turn 2. Slaytoven passing the star off to Jax. And Coaster Strudel getting instructions to call it off with Jax rolling in hot. 1 point signal for Coaster Strudel and the white team. Bon Appetit in black, Yoshi in white. Yoshi coming away lead. Yoshi picking up the 4, looking across track, see where Bon Appetit is. Calling it before they hit the pack. Ricky Bobby in white, Jax in black, and Jax trying to force Ricky Bobby out of bounds. It looks like we're squeezed through. Jax finds the inside lane, hopping through in those toe stops, coming away lead. Jax tries to hop through on the inside, doesn't land clean, going to call it off, picking up 1 point. Or excuse me, 3 points, and Ricky Bobby picking up 1. Yoshi back in the jam line in white, Slaytoven in black. Black lined up on the jam line in the back. Yoshi trying to get the black blockers to flinch. Able to run them up and break through the inside, coming away lead. Taking a look back, seeing Slaytoven a couple hash marks back. Pack sets up on the far straightaway. Slaytoven looking for the inside, gets checked out, run back to the beginning of the far straightaway. Yoshi breaks through the pack, coming away with 4. Slaytoven checked out of turn 3, brought back on the far straightaway. Yoshi back in the pack now, taking the outside lane at turn 2, cutting to the inside to the apex, stretching out the black tripod. Deathlepaw getting I believe, failure to reform. So 1 apiece in the box now. Directional signal, Diana Slam ahead of the box, 2 down now for black. 4 point signal for Slaytoven and the black team, and Yoshi picks up another 4 and calls it off. White team 79, black team 24, 20-30 to go in the game. Black team down 2 blockers. They're going to line up at the front of the pack. White's 4-wall lined up on the jam line with Coaster Strudel in white and infamous GA in black. Not sure exactly what happened, but Georgia now in the box to start off. So Coaster Strudel starting off at a power jam. Coaster Strudel finding it easy inside lane to get through the pack. Coaster Strudel through the pack, picking up 4. Pack between turn 1 and 2 as Coaster Strudel hits the pack. Running up the middle lane, breaking through, picking up 4 points. The infamous GA breaks through the pack, getting that initial pass. And Coaster Strudel calls it off. Chucky in black with the star, Yoshi in white with the star, no one in the box. Black in the back on the jam line. Chucky stays ahead to meet the 4 wall of white. Yoshi working side to side. And Chucky coming away first, lead. Yoshi's right there, just off her hip. White's tripod and Beastie dangling lined up on the jam line. Black doing some smothering up front with Static Shock in white and Jax in black. Lining up in an I formation. Jax goes for the inside, meets the shoulder of Beastie. Brought back to behind turn 4. Meanwhile, Static Shock's off to the races. Lead Jammer out of turn 1. Jax leaning into the check, running on the toe stop sideways. Static Shock breaks through the pack, picking up 4 and calling it off. Coaster Strudel in white, Chucky in black. Chucky working side to side, Coaster Strudel skating ahead of the inside. Chucky almost finds the lane, gets tripped up as their skate goes out of bounds. Meanwhile, Coaster Strudel picks up Elite Jammer status. Pack sitting on the pivot line now. Coaster Strudel on cutting the outside. Toe stop hopping through the outside, picking up 4. Chucky passed Star off to Deathlopod. Now working against a tripod in the back with Slit Throat and a couple of friends. Here comes a 4 teammate to help. Now the black team coming in to try to get their teammate through. Coaster Strudel picking up a final 2. And that will take the white team past the century mark to 101. With number 101, Squid, on the jam line in white. Jackson, the jam line in black. It's only 24 on the board for his team, so almost his number as well. TPQ blocking out Squid. Jax finding an inside lane, coming away. Lead jammer for the black team. .14.5 to go. Pack holding steady on the far straightaway, getting spread all the way back, running Jax back to turn one. Squid at the front holding Star, trying to get past TPQ, and she's out. And Jax breaks through the pack, picking up 4. Black holding their position up in the front of the pack to not be a point. Jax is going to go for a checkout, it looks like. Try to get that. Slowing down Squid. Jax is through the pack. Squid's on the scoring pass as well. With the black team mixing it up with Squid in the back. Jax picking up 4 more, 8 so far. Jax cuts to the inside of turn 4, coming away 4 more points. 4-point signal for Squid. 20 seconds on jam time. Oh, trying to give an assist to Jax, looking for an inside run. Official timeout on the floor. We're going to take that track back down real quick. White team picking up 4, 13 for black team.
Okay, we're going to finish on time. It's 34 and we got 12 minutes. That's on time. Whatever.
Whatever. I do what I'm told.
I mean, that wouldn't take 30 seconds, so yeah. It is what it is.
Everybody filing in for the juniors game later on. Don't forget we got concessions out back with Bueller's Munchies. They got snow cones, and hamburgers, and hot dogs, and barbecue. Some jamming going on the jam line right now. Yoshi and White starting off on the outside, and Slaytoven and Black on the inside. Working against each other initially, and Yoshi out first, coming away lead. Yoshi hits the back, breaks through, taking a look back. Slaytoven getting work side to side against the white tripod. Toe hops through the inside. 4 points. White losing the blocker as another return. Yoshi hits the pack. Transitions. Picks up 4 as he calls. TPQ in the jam line in black, static shot in white. White down the blocker as they line up on the jam line.
turn one as Static Shock hits the back. Picks up 3 points and calls it off. 3-0 to finish that jam. Bones Appetit in black, Coaster Strudel in white. Both jammers working the outside initially, Georgia blocking, Coaster Strudel out of bounds, Bones Appetit checked out as well. We've got a lead jammer whistle, looks like it's going to be Bones Appetit. White blockers recycling. Keeper back in the pack, and Coaster Strudel out. But Bones able to pick up that lead jammer status. I think Bones is a Hershey's lead. And Coaster Strudel picking up 3.
Did Black get lead?
Yeah, Black got lead.
Okay.
She got swallowed back up. So we gotta chase him down.
Exene back with the star on the jam line in white, Jax in black. Both jammers working up the middle initially, cutting to the inside and outside respectively. Working side to side, trying to find a lane. And Diana Slamma going to head of the box. Black losing Diana. Exene checked out of bounds on the outside. Jack checked out inside, but coming away on the inside after recycling lead. Exene making an initial pass. Jack's back in the pack on the far straightaway. Beastie and Thriller mixing it up with Jax. He's able to avoid him, jumping over the apex. Short hop, 4 points. Pack backs back up to the end of the far straightaway. Thriller checking Jax out, getting checked out as well by Diana, returning the pack. 4 point signal for white and 1 for black. Chico Suave goes down hard. Skaters switch up packs. Those coming off, those coming on, just getting a little tripped up. Ricky Bobby in white. Trekkie in black. Pack spread out, white's out of play in the back. Arthur Doscara getting out of play, I believe. Gonna head to the box. Meanwhile, Ricky Bobby off to the races, lead jammer. Just under 5.5 to go. Black Star passed off to Hulk, now jamming. And Ricky Bobby gets out of the pack with 4 points and calling it off.
What do you have right now? You're missing 4 points somewhere. What jam? 30?
Coaster Strudel in white, Diana Slamma in black. Black down a blocker at the front. Jammers working side to side. Coaster Strudel slipping through in the end. Coming away lead. Diana Slamma breaks down that initial coaster strudel on the scoring pass. Picks up 4 and calls it off. We tick past the 4-minute mark. Static Shock in white, Jax in black. White lined up at the front of the pack. Static Shock steps through, cuts to the outside, coming away lead. Jax checked down the outside, brought back to the jam line. Static back in the pack, cuts from the end to the middle and breaks through. Hulk chasing him down, has taken the star. And Static going chest to chest with Hulk. Trying to check him out or something, slow him down. All smiles though. Calling it off before Hulk can pick up any points. Ricky Bobby in back on the jam line in white. Georgia in black. Ricky Bobby out first, lead jammers. Georgia recycled back to the jam line. Ricky Bobby finds an outside lane, picking up 4. Georgia checked out on the outside of turn 2. Got to recycle behind the pack. And Ricky Bobby finds the lane through the middle. Taking a couple checks, absorbing them though and getting through. Final minute and a half on the game clock. Bobby going to call it off as he's checked out by TPQ, picking up 3 final points. 1 minute on game clock. Coaster Strudel in white, Jax in black. Looks like 1 apiece in the box for the blockers. Jax almost able to find an inside lane. Gets caught up, but breaks through the middle, coming away lead. Jax picks up 4, hopping through on the outside. Coaster Strudel making the initial pass. Four more points for Jackson and the black team. Game clock out. We are on jam time. Minute 15 to go. Or up to a minute 15, I should say. Jax skates to the outside, picking up 4 more. Coaster Strudel picking up 4 as well. Jax cuts the outside back to the end. Coaster Strudel there against the 4 wall of the black team as well. Coaster Strudel keeping those feet upright, getting through in the end. 4 more. Oh, and Jax picks up a track cut. It's going to be a full 2 minutes. And only 30 seconds on jam time. I don't think Jax will make it back out on the track in time. So Coaster Strudel is going to finish off this game up against Chucky right now, looking to check him out. 4 more points for White. Final 10. Back on right at turn 4 as the Coaster comes up on the pack off to the near straightaway. And that will be your unofficial 3 final points for Coaster and the White team. Come down and give your teams a high five.